Welcome to episode 13 of the podcast, please and thank you. The all-inclusive podcast where we include all the words and all the topics that you care about. So, if you want to jump to a specific topic, go to the time description, the time codes in the description below. But for everybody else, welcome to episode 13. It is Valentine's Day today. I am shooting this on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. If you are in, India or Australia or Turkey, which is apparently where most of my fan base is, according to my YouTube analytics, it might not be February 14th right now. It might be the 13th. Maybe you're back in time somehow, or it might be the 15th. So while I'm recording this, you might be in a different time zone. I don't know why that was relevant, but Valentine's Day is the day where you get to hang out with your boys. You know, that's the day you hang out with your girlfriends or you hang out with your boys. You don't hang out with your significant other. That's when you take a break from her or him. You know what I mean? That's when today is the day you hang out with your boys. You want to spend time with your crew. You know what I'm saying? I don't get why some people go on first dates during Valentine's Day. I never understood that. Some people tend to, they've never met the person, they don't know anything about the person, and they go on a first date with the person. And out of all the days, you pick Valentine's Day. I don't get it. This is the day where you want to hang out with your crew, want to hang out with your boys, or you want to, hang out with your family or something. And instead, you get to spend it with a stranger that you don't know. I don't get it, man. I'm judging it right now because I've never done it. And maybe one day when I go out on a first date on Valentine's Day, then I will stop judging it. But for now, I will continue to judge it. This podcast episode is unofficially sponsored by Sensodyne. I have the Sensodyne Pro Enamel or Pro Enamel. I don't know. It's a different type of Sensodyne, but it is still under the brand of Sensodyne. So what I love about Sensodyne is, let me tell you, first of all, it cleans your teeth. I love that shit. I love that part. The part where it cleans your teeth, when you brush your teeth, after you're done brushing your teeth, it feels good. It feels nice. It's kind of cool. It has that fresh breath kind of smell. And when you smell your own teeth, if your nostrils are that long, they can kind of go down into your teeth. Or I don't know what the fuck I'm saying with that one. But what I like about toothpaste is that it cleans your teeth. What I like about Sensodyne in particular is if you have the sensitive teeth, if you're one of those people with the sensitive teeth like me, I got the sensitive teeth when I drink a very cold beverage, a alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Hey, I don't judge here, all-inclusive podcast. If you drink any of those kind of beverages, if you have those sensitive kinds of teeth, that's where Sensodyne can come in, and it can help you with lowering the sensitivity of your teeth. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I feel like that's not healthy for your teeth to numb them. Is that healthy? I don't know how the hell that works. Maybe what it does, it has some sort of a material in it that numbs the roots of your teeth. Maybe that's fine. It's okay to use that material. Maybe they tested that shit out with a lot of people and they said, hey, we can numb people's mouths. Totally cool. Maybe if you're the kind of person that goes down on people a lot, if you take a lot of sticks, you take a lot of carrots, you take a lot of cucumbers, dicks is what I'm talking about here, maybe Sensodyne would be great for you because you can go downtown on that bitch and then, take the Sensodyne stuff and it would be fine. You would be able to take in more than usual because it's you're desensitized. You can just fucking keep going at that. It would be pretty nice. I've never tried it in that way, but maybe that is a way to do it. And if you do try it in that way, where you take the toothpaste and you start going down and downtown, you know what I'm saying? Shoot me an email, send me a comment, send me a mail, write me a letter. I haven't received a letter in quite a while. All I receive is bills. It's I don't care about bills, but stop sending me bills. This is what I don't get is they keep sending me letter bills. I'm yo, just email me my bills. I read my emails sometimes, so just email me my bills. I don't get that. But anyway, one of the reasons why I love Sensodyne as well, maybe a second or third reason. Did I mention my first reason? I think I mentioned my first reason. Another reason is that I was on a date one time. The one time I was on a date. I was on a date. We're having a good time. We're at a restaurant. Everything was going great. And she starts looking at my teeth. Okay, and I'm like, why is this woman looking at my teeth. And she's looking at my teeth. And she gives me this weird look. And she's just like, you should get like aligners for your teeth. So that's why I love Sensodyne so much, is that if you have any misalignment in your teeth, it highlights them to your date. And it encourages your date to speak up, speak her mind, and tell you that your teeth are misaligned. And ever since that day, I got the Invisalign shit. I'm not wearing them right now because I always have trouble speaking when I'm wearing them. But ever since that day, I got the Invisalign shit, which are like basically aligners. They align your teeth. I'm on number 6 or 7 now or something. My dentist said that I'm tracking really well, so I'm doing a great job at something in my life. So that's what's been going on. I want to talk about 2 or 1 different topic. We'll see how the podcast plays. One of the topics that I want to talk about is the CD Projekt Red hack. So if you don't know CD Projekt Red are the creators of The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077. They made The Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3. Very popular games if you've never heard of them. And they made Cyberpunk 2077. So basically what's going on is CD Projekt Red recently got hacked. And so you hear about companies getting hacked a lot. Like that's like a normal thing. Like every now and then some big company, some corporation will talk about how they got hacked. And that's like a normal thing. So what's different with this one is it's a little bit screwed up. And there's a lot more than the just like, oh, they just take a bunch of people's data and then a bunch of people got compromised and then people just moved on. There's a little bit more than that. There's some spicy news on that. And I'm gonna bring this up here. So yesterday, this is a CD Projekt Red statement. They said, yesterday we discovered that we have been a victim of a targeted cyber attack. An unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal network, collected certain data beyond belonging to CD Projekt Red Capital Group, and left a ransom note of the content of which they will release to the public. Etc., etc. They say a bunch of other stuff. We will not give in to the demands nor negotiate with the actor, being aware that this may eventually lead to the release of the compromised data. We are taking necessary steps, etc., etc. We are still investigating the incident. However, at this time, we can confirm that, to our best knowledge, the compromised system did not contain any personal data of our players or users of our service. And that's kind of the important part. So the ransom note that they ended up getting said this. Hello, CD Projekt Red. Your have been epically pawned. We have dumped full copies of the source codes from your Perforce server for Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of The Witcher 3. We have also dumped all of your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand blah blah blah. They say, if we will not come to an agreement, then your source codes will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how shitty your company functions. Investors will lose trust in your company, and stock will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us. Now, initially, some people thought that this might have been a fake thing done by fans that were unhappy with Cyberpunk 2077. Because if you don't know Cyberpunk 2077, I've talked about it pretty extensively in the podcast and my previous videos. But basically, the game got released and it had a ton of bugs on consoles and on PC. And a lot of people are not happy. And that's basically the very, very gist of it. But no, it turned out to not just be a fan that wasn't happy, but instead it was someone that was like legitimate. A Twitter user by the name Fabian Wozer says, the amount of people that are thinking this was done by a disgruntled gamer is laughable. Judging by the ransom note that was shared, this was done by a ransomware group we track as Hello Kitty. So this person, I guess, works on security services or something. I'll pull up their profile on the screen so you can see what they're about. But basically, they say, judging by the ransom note that was shared, this was done by a ransomware group we track as Hello Kitty. This has nothing to do with the destruction of gamers and is just your average ransomware. So, this appears to be legitimate and it is not like completely made up. And a lot of people initially thought that this was something that was completely made up. So there was another Twitter user called VX Underground. They actually confirmed that the ransom was leaked online. What they said is that the source code that was being leaked included code about The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077. So the code is being auctioned today on exploit forums at a starting bid of, basically they correct themselves, at a starting bid of 1 million. This was assumed as a typo for 1,000, but they meant 1 million. They are also selling immediately for $7 million. So the starting bid is 1 million, and if you want to buy it immediately without bidding, kind of like how eBay works, basically it's like, I think everybody knows how eBay works, and I think you can basically in eBay, I didn't even know that they had this feature, but apparently in eBay, if you click on the buy, there is some auctions that have like an immediate buy button where you can buy it at a very high price. But anyway, eventually, after about 1 day, within 24 hours, they confirmed that the auction was closed. The VX-Underground confirmed that the auction ended up getting closed and that someone actually bought it for $7 million. So what we think happened, what a lot of people think happened, was that the $7 million wasn't purchased by someone that was just really interested with their code, but instead someone that worked in CD Projekt Red, or potentially just CD Projekt Red themselves. Like, they have a lot of money, so they just went ahead and straight up bought the whole thing and spent $7 million to buy it. So that was the last of the news that we have so far. We don't have any other news. So here's the thing with all this. Although it is kind of entertaining and kind of freaky to read about, this is extremely illegal. Like, even though I've talked about how negatively I see, I've said a lot of negative things about CD Projekt Red because of their situation with how they handled Cyberpunk 2077. They released, a broken console version and sold it at $60. I think that is extremely wrong, and I don't know anyone that would say that it is a right thing to do. Obviously, there's a lot of wrong things about that, but but with this thing, it's like, dude, like, we're getting into illegal territory here, and if they find out who did this, they're gonna get arrested and potentially, probably actually go to prison. So if they end up getting found, like, they're screwed. But if they've done this before many times, maybe they're really good at hiding what they're doing. I don't really understand the technical aspects of this, but does CD Projekt Red deserve this? Even though they mishandled Cyberpunk 2077 and honestly straight up just lied to people, I wouldn't say they deserve this, because like, some of the information that could be included in the code base, or some of the information that include, because they talked about how like information about their administration, about their accounting was included in this. So it's possible that there's information about just their like receptionists, like administrator people, just developers, employees. Like, it could have information about that. So that's a pretty big deal, that people that have nothing to do with what they ended up doing, or they didn't have much to do over what they ended up doing with Cyberpunk 2077, are getting punished. And that's pretty screwed up, man. So that's all the info that we have on that story right now. But it is very scary that we are getting into a world where, I remember reading where a cybersecurity expert talked about this on like CNN or something. It was an article I read a while ago, and it was a video I read a while ago. It was a video I watched a while ago. So basically, the guy was saying that when it comes to cybersecurity, you can try to put as many preventative measures as you can, but what you can't do is fully like block out any potential exploit, because people will always find new exploits with your software, with your website, with whatever IT infrastructure that you have. So all you can do is you can try to be a step before them, but you can't be a step ahead. So it's basically like, people that are very good at this stuff and very good at hacking these massive companies that have very expensive security are always going to be a step ahead of these companies. And there are preventative measures that they can do to make their lives harder, to make them less hackable. But at the end of the day, as far as I know, how it works is these massive cybersecurity firms will always be a step behind these ransomware people and people that try to hack people. Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff, especially with all the concern about privacy that we've been getting these days. It's kind of freaky. The next topic that we have for today is H3 Productions' response to Joe Rogan saying that he does not want to take the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine. So I'm going to first off start off by playing a little bit of their response. They kind of just say the same things over and over again in the rest of the video, but the first minute or so is the only important part.
Listen, I take no pleasure in shitting on Joe Rogan because he has a cult that will literally eviscerate me if I say anything bad about Joe Rogan. But for the amount of alpha brain he chugs in a day, you think you would be a little white, and all these smart people he talks to, you don't think you'd be saying such dumb shit as this. Okay? I am just so not down with this fucking ape brain ignorance. He's smart. He knows better than... Just listen to what he says about the COVID vaccination. It really pisses me off.
You taking that vaccine?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's not like, nah. No.
That CC vaccine?
It's like anyone who takes that shit is a fucking idiot.
No, I just...
Not a pussy.
I mean, I would if I felt like I needed it. But I just feel like if you maintain your health, and I think for some people it's important. I think for some people it's good.
Are they gonna make
You cannot be missing the point this badly after all this time. It's not a question of if you need it. We all have to get the fucking vaccine to achieve herd immunity. Do you understand that? People like you who are too lazy or too fucking dumb to understand it, or too alpha, you think it makes you look like a pussy if you wear a mask or get a vaccine. You gotta chill on the elk meat, dude, because it's rotting your fucking brain. You gotta come down to the earth for a second, because this is important, Joe Rogan. You need to get the vaccine because it helps achieve herd immunity. We all have to get it. That's the whole fucking point. I mean, what's so hard to understand about it? It's so fucking simple. It's so basic. It doesn't mean you're a pussy or a bitch. Doesn't mean have anything. It doesn't make you beta, Joe. Don't worry.
We see the muscles. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude.
The shirt is tight enough.
What? You couldn't be wearing a tighter shirt. I can see your nips through that, boy. And we were trying to kill this thing. We were trying to make it disappear so it doesn't last for fucking ever. And it comes around every winter like the flu. We are trying to kill it like polio. And the only way to kill it is if we all get vaccinated so it can no longer reproduce.
So anyway, that was his response to Joe Rogan saying that he doesn't want to take the vaccine. I think this highlights is that public health officials, doctors, medical officers, scientists just need to work hard on educating people and telling them that, hey, the vaccine is safe to take. Because from my understanding, just talking to my family, talking to my friends, talking to my coworkers about this, I've noticed that generally there is 3 different groups of people. So the first group are people that are just going to take the vaccine no matter what. Then there's people that are just not going to take it, and they are very much in the, no, this thing is not safe, I'm not going to take it. And then there's a lot of people in the middle. And there's a lot of people that are hesitant. Okay, there's a lot of people that are very 50-50 on it. There's a lot of people that are hesitant, but they're more on the side of maybe they'll take it. And there's a lot of people that are hesitant and they're on the side that maybe they won't take it. And all we need to do is, well, I mean, it's not really a simple solution, but health officials and public officials and all that stuff, they need to run basically vaccine education campaigns is what I think they're working on, to educate the public and tell them that, hey, this thing is safe. This thing is safe to do. Because what we can't do as a society is that we can't just look at people like that, look at people that say, hey, I don't want to take this. No, I would never take this. And just look at them like H3 is doing and just talk about how stupid that person is. The problem with doing that is you shove people into an echo chamber. Because if you're saying that you have a problem with something or you don't believe something and a bunch of people tell you how stupid you are, what are you going to feel like? You're going to feel like you don't belong with these people and you can't voice your opinions with these people, and you're going to get shoved into you're going to kind of be forced to go to like an echo chamber. And where there's a bunch of people that also believe what you believe, which is like, let's say in this scenario, you believe that the vaccine is going to be harmful. You believe that maybe the vaccine is going to be harmful, and then your friends and your family are like, hey, what the hell, you're stupid for thinking that. So what you do is you find online groups online that tell you, yeah, man, you're totally right, the vaccine is going to be harmful. Why do you feel that you're forced to go to these groups? Because people aren't willing to listen. And if everybody or a lot of people out there are just like H3, and I get that, his podcast is an entertainment podcast and he shits on people all the time. That's a part of what he does. It's a part of why he's so popular, is him making fun of people. That's like a normal part of his podcast. I get that. I don't pay too much attention of his podcast, but I've watched I watched some episodes here and there. But what I'm saying here is that we really, regardless of whether we like it or not, we're going to need to listen to people. And if they have concerns over the vaccine, then scientists, doctors, health public officials need to step in and do their job of educating the public. They can't just go ahead and be like, hey guys, you can go to Shoppers Drug Mart and get the vaccine. Guys, why aren't you getting the vaccine? You need to get the vaccine. They can't do that. They need to educate people and tell them and give them reasons why this is safe. Because that's where the hesitation comes in, is whether or not this thing is safe. H3 later on at some point does talk about how like we need to kill it. He says later on in the video, like, we need to kill this virus. Whereas actually there's a lot of people that are saying, there's a lot of doctors that are saying that we may never get rid of the virus. On Newsweek.com, there's a doctor called Dr. Ian Lipkin. He's the director of the Center for Infection and Immunity at Columbia's Mailman School of Public Health. He told a Spanish newspaper called El País in an interview published that the public is likely to live the rest of their lives with this virus. Obviously, this is just one person's opinion, but there is actually a possibility that we will live with this forever. So the vaccines aren't going to, quote unquote, kill this virus. So that's all I wanted to say about that. And that's all I got for our topics for today. Thank you guys for joining episode 13 of the podcast. Please and thank you. As always, I always appreciate it that you're willing to take some time out of your day to listen to this. So thank you and peace out.